language that has been written in other countries, such as French, during the 18th century, did not take place in Spain, where the different regions keep their idiosyncrasies, language laws, which are right to current time. In the 19th century, this regional diversity led to nationalism, which the next century were represented during the Frankists.
This period ended with the transition in 1978, and from this moment the system of autonomies was established to each region to be able to have its own parliament and government with jurisdiction over key areas, such as education and health. But as with the current electoral system, it's difficult to reach an absolute majority. Successive parties in power have had to to negotiate their support with regionalist parties to form government. So, these regions have had more power from time to time. Using this power unfairly, they have abused their role in education, exaggerating the difference and interpreting the names of scholars.
Catalonia has been one of these regions, with an undue distributing of different due in part to the language and a certain regional pride. It's also a rich, labor-intensive and innovative region that contributes to the world Spain more than other regions. With the crisis in 2007, the Catalan nationalism increased, diverting the blame to Spain, as it had brought them.
That, according to the referendum for independence, have been there for the last year, and a first attempt took place in 2014, but it finally became a reality on 1 October 2017. This possibility of voting for the independence or the secession is not legal according to our constitution. Security forces tried to stop the voting process on that day, but it took place. It's not possible to know if it took place in the appropriate way to check if the result was right and accurate to the people's feelings. But the result was that the majority of the Catalonian wanted to become independent.
On 10 October, the Catalonian president declared the independence of the region, assuming the government of the republic, but ended the declaration by stopping the effects of this independence to start the dialogue with the central government. According to the constitution, the Spanish government dissolved the Catalonian government and sent to prison some of its members directly related to the declaration of independence. Preparing elections in the region for 21 December 2017.
With 80% of the population taking part in these elections, a constitutionality party was declared the most voted party. But adding the separatist parties, they had a larger number of votes. So, an independentist president was finally elected. From this point, he has continued with the same politics as the previous government, asking for independence. And at this point, we ask for you help to solve this problem. That's all.
Okay, now you will have 2 minutes to discuss with your group, and you will have to ask a question to the Spanish team based on what they presented. So take 2 minutes and find your question.
One microphone to the Spanish girl, please.
Why these people want to be independent? Because many of the people that live in Catalonia think that for the province, for Catalonia, it's better to don't be in Spain. Do you understand?
Okay, so next question by the opposite.
Okay, how will the independence affect the economics of Catalonia?
Can you repeat?
Okay, so how will the independence affect the economics of Spain?
If they are independent,
Yeah.
in Catalonia there are a lot of tourism.
Yeah. Okay.
So we lost this tourism because Barcelona is very touristic. All the province in general is very touristic. So we will lose these benefits.
Okay.
And last, the press.
So our question is, if Catalonia will be independent, will it affect Spain in general? Yes.
Yeah, so we can move on to the Italian presentation, domestic violence. So please, Italy, come.
To talk about women violence against women.
Be quiet.
This is a problem of Italy, but maybe of other countries too. And through history, women have had to fight for their rights. But still nowadays, they have to deal with crucial issues like domestic violence. Okay. Violence against women. Nowadays, in the 21st century, women's rights are unbelievably still violated, and violence against women is unfortunately still an issue. 31.5% of Italian women aged 16-70 suffers some form of either physical or sexual violence during their lives. 20.2% suffered from physical violence, 21% sexual violence, and 5.4% suffered from the most serious form of sexual violence, such as rape. In 1996, EU introduced a new notion of sexual violence to protect women of sexual abuse. In 2006, a legislative decree defines sexual harassment as a form of discrimination. The sanction is the same of general harassment: arrest up to 6 months of payment of applying for maximum amount of 516 euros. We are talking about a famous woman who fight against violence. She is very famous in Italy. So, his name is Jessica Notaro. She suffered serious injuries and was left badly scared as a consequence of an acid attack by her ex-boyfriend outside her mother's house on the 11th January 2017. She reacted to this ordeal with great strength and determination, becoming a role model for all women who suffer abuse or violence of any kind. Her motto is "Non mollo." That is to say, I will never give in.
So we're going to do the same. You need to find a question and then ask the Italian team. So you have 2 minutes again. For the European selection. Okay, so you can ask for the previous team. Okay, so Marta and again.
I completely forgot about this. Yes. Okay. So we came up with an idea. We're gonna ask you if you agree. So we thought. So since the little companies are not working, to give it like some time, like for example a year, for not doing anything. So when that year ends, and if you don't start working, you have to pay a fee. And if you don't pay a fee, for example, 10,000 euros, if you don't pay that, the company can shut down. So you don't have as many, like for example, you said you have 169 companies, right?
Yes, 169 tiny stations.
If like 1/3 of those don't work, after 1 year, they can get shut down if they don't and pay a fee of 10,000 euros. So do you agree on making that? Like, do you think that's a good idea to not have as many companies as you have now?
I think it would be a good, how do I say, a good, my vocabulary ended just here. I think it would be a good idea to give the companies a test period.
Yes.
When they, did you mean it in a way that they are not getting paid the mandatory component that year, or they're still getting that?
No, like for example, for a year, you can get paid, right? I don't know how many, like,
Yes.
So you have in that year, you can, like, it's a test, you get paid, and you can start working from that year, or maybe not, but you get paid. But if you don't start working, like, if you don't have, like, the papers or the amount of, like an amount of energy that you provided to people, you can't, like, cut it off. Like, you don't get paid anymore. And you have to pay that fee, 10,000 euros. And if you don't pay that fee for, like, for example, let's say 6 months, you shut down the entire company. So I know that would be a little bit like a problem because you get unemployed people, but also from the beginning you weren't doing anything. So that's what we meant.
Yes, I think it could, this idea of yours, of your group, could be tested. Meaning, maybe not, we probably won't be able to implement it in the whole country, on the whole stations, but it could be tested on set amount of stations. Another suggestion of mine would be not to pay set fee, but maybe pay back the government for a few years the money they have put into that station, but for a set amount of years, not for the whole time that the station has existed. Basically, to give government back the money that the government had put in them.
So, for example, if the government pays, let's say, to a small amount, it's you 1,000. So you have to pay 1,000 back, or more.
Probably even more, because the government had wasted their money on basically nothing. Yes. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
So the last presentation for today is unemployment. So I would like to ask Chris to come.